Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Stone with Parenting Aces, and I am joined by Ben Van Hout, who I have known since he was this big. Ben and my son Morgan came up through junior tennis together in Atlanta and in the southern section. And Ben's got a new project. So, Ben, first of all, welcome and thanks
Thank
for
you.
doing this.
Thank you.
It was so great to hear from you. And tell us what you're up to with your own tennis right now, and then what's going on with college team tennis.
Yeah, so what's going on with me kind of started this whole journey. I'm playing college tennis at Georgia College right now, and I'm coming back from a hard spring season, and the only tournaments we got right now are the summer ITA circuits for college players. And there's some money tournaments here and there as well, but I didn't want to play another individual tournament, the individual grind of going to tournaments by myself, doing that whole scene summer, over and over again. So I wanted to create more of a team dynamic for the guys who are coming off of a hard spring season and just want to have a good time, have competitive matches, be able to work on their game without, because the issue with the ITA circuit is, you'll get one or two good, like really competitive matches. You might get a junior player who might not be ready for that level, or you get a superstar from, an SEC or an ACC player. So I really wanted to create, a good competitive dynamic. So I created college team tennis. And what our tournaments do is, they're dual matches, basically. You sign up, we get about 40 players, 8 teams of 5 is what we've been doing right now. And then that top guy is a captain. And so we start with the captain, and then the captains end up picking the teams. And so everyone is around at each line is around the same level. So that's kind of what I've started. The tournaments have been a lot of fun. It's just a better atmosphere. When you're having a tough day, when you're down, you got your teammates to pull you back up. You don't have that
Right.
in, most of these summer tournaments and individual
Right.
tournaments. And so that's kind of where we're at right now.
What
So
what
yeah.
are you doing with COVID-19 and restrictions and
Hmm.
social distancing and safety measures and all that? Because people who've been
Yeah.
tuning into my live streams know I am hardcore about this
Yes.
safety. And
Yes.
I myself have not played tennis since COVID hit. I'm not ready to be back out there. I've got other
Yeah.
ways to stay in shape, so I don't need to be out there for
Hmm.
for my own personal fitness. But I understand, that plenty of people are comfortable being out on a tennis court, and we've
Hmm.
seen the reports. Tennis is one of the safest activities to participate in right now.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just wiggy. I'm crazy. People know that about
No,
me.
no, it's all
So,
good. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, that was one of our concerns. I mean, I jumped into it right now because I knew there weren't a whole lot of tournaments, but I also knew in the back of my head I was like, I've got to make sure we're taking all precaution
sure.
because I don't want to add to the curve. So we're kind of going by USTA's guidelines. Spraying down the nets, making sure the benches are wiped after every match. Every court has a hand sanitizer bottle. We haven't gone to the players having their own balls yet. But that's something that we're looking for the next tournament. We're making sure all spectators have the masks on each site. Um, but yeah, just making sure everything's wiped down, sprayed down. Guys are making them do the racket touch at the end of the match rather than shaking hands.
Hands, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been tough, because you want to see guys, giving each other chest bumps and high fives and stuff. But that's
Right.
kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. And I mean, it's tough because you're in Georgia, and I'm in Atlanta right now too.
Right.
Georgia's been, the first state to
Very lax.
reopen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't go into the politics there, but suffice it to say, I have not left my house since getting here last
Hmm.
week,
Yeah.
except to take my dog for a walk. So it's a little tricky here,
Hmm.
and we've seen the PR around an event that's going to be happening this coming weekend with
Yep.
fans and stands. I'm not going to talk about that event
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not in favor of it. I think it's a big
Right.
mistake in light of what happened with Novak Djokovic's event and so many people testing positive for
Yeah,
COVID.
exactly.
But that aside, so are you leaving the onus to the players to make sure that they're healthy coming onto site? And obviously,
Yeah.
you're not
So,
a medical person, so
right.
you can't administer COVID-19
Right.
tests.
Yeah. So I make sure to contact, I'm in contact with all the players throughout the week. I always, all these tournaments are getting UTR verified, but I'm always making sure we have a group message with everyone.
Okay.
And most of the tournaments have been in Atlanta, so I've known 99% of the players playing
Right.
it, which has been really nice for me. Guys, give it to me straight. How are you feeling? Has anybody felt any feverish this week? What's the deal? And I actually had 3 guys pull out the night before of my last tournament, and it was for those reasons. And I was like, guys, and they all ended up testing negative, but I was like, thank you. You guys,
Yeah.
if you were positive and you played, you could have infected all my players that are going to hopefully be playing my future events. So I really appreciate that. It was hard getting 3 players by 8 a.m. the next morning, but it was definitely beneficial for everyone.
Sure. So let's get back to the actual format of your tournament,
Mm-hmm.
the structure of it, because I think it's so cool that you're doing a team event. You said the top guys are the captains. Top guys according to UTR, or
Yeah, so
I
we've been basing it off of like UTR and like college team results. Like, for example, like Galen Lee wasn't in the top 8 for UTR, but he was also Harvard's captain
yeah.
of the team. So we take little things into account like that. Um, so yeah, that's how we've been doing it. I get the captains first, and then add the rest of the filter all the rest of the players in, and then we
Okay.
have like a live draft on Instagram Live, which has been a lot of fun for
Oh,
the
cool.
players. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. So I just want to create an exciting dynamic for them, especially with everything going on and not a lot of stuff.
Right.
So.
Right. And so what's the actual playing format? Is
Mhm.
it the same as D1 or what are y'all using?
Yes, so it's similar. So depending on the court availability, we're doing 2 lines of doubles, 4 lines of singles,
Okay.
and then if there's ever a 3-3 split, we go off of who's won more sets and then more games that's still even. But for the sites that have 12 plus courts, we go D1 rules, 3 lines of doubles, 6 lines of singles.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and then each team we do like a round robin format on the first day. And then on the second day, we do the tournament play, for first and second and third and fourth.
Okay, so it's a 2-day event.
Yes, it's actually a 3-day event because we host we have 8 junior qualifying spots for each event, 8 to 16, depending on the size. And we do a qualifying event the night before.
Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's just one match to qualify in.
2 matches, 2
Two
matches.
matches.
As of right now, it just depends on the size and how many juniors sign up.
Sure. And so what scoring format are you using? No ad, 2 out of 3
Yeah,
sets?
2 out of 3 sets, no ad, with unfortunately a third set breaker in the third, just for time purposes. I don't like them. I'm not a proponent of them, but since it's a tournament
I
and we're
knew I
trying to
liked
get,
you, Ben Van Hout.
yeah, but we got to do it just to make sure things are going along.
Yeah.
And then the doubles is 1 set, no
Okay.
ad.
Got it.
Playing lets, which I really like. I
Yeah.
like playing lets. Those are
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And it's just for guys at this point. You don't have any
Yeah, currently
females?
just for guys. I'm trying to bring on a girl who will run that side of things, just because I don't have as much of a pull. Like, I don't know that many girls in
Right.
the area anymore, the younger ones.
Right.
So I'm really trying to
That's
find a
probably
girl
a good
currently.
thing.
Yeah, it is probably a good thing. Yeah. Um, so trying to find someone to fill that void right now. But for right now, I'm going to keep going with the guys,
Okay.
just because I have the connections for it.
Right. And I suspect the guys are, well, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I'll go down a different path. Um, and so far, how many events have you run?
So we've run 2 tournament based ones, and then I had an exhibition slash. It was an exhibition, but it was really a competitive exhibition on
Always.
Friday. On Friday night with that format. So and it was in Woodstock, and I don't know if you know much about the Woodstock tennis community. It's not that big in terms of the junior players and the guys getting into college. And it's my hometown, so I've really been trying to amp it up
But they've
because we
always had really strong high school teams.
exactly, and that's the issue is we've had a lot of good athletes come through here and
Mhm.
a lot of multi-sport athletes, but we don't have the developmental programs here to get them to the next level.
Which
I
is why
had
you drove down to East Cobb to train.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, but I just found out 5 minutes down the road, there's a tennis academy that I didn't even know was there for the last 8 years. And
Wow.
exactly. So I partnered with them. It's Bagnati Tennis Academy. Partnered with them, and we put on a fantastic event. And people were very happy with it.
Cool. And so is that where you'll be doing all of your events, or are you holding them in different spots?
No, so as of right now, we've been working with Ace Academy over in Peachtree Corners.
Mhm.
Jeff Weaver, we've had a really strong partnership. He's helped us. We've helped him. So we've been doing most of them there, but right now we're working on events in Dayton, Ohio, with my friend Will Harper, and then we're looking at Nashville and Charleston.
Oh,
Just
awesome.
just trying to get everyone involved. And expand a little bit, because there's so many players down here and so many players who want to play, but I want to get those other states involved as well.
Right. So if somebody wants to bring one of your events, one of your college team tennis tournament
Hmm.
events to their area, could they reach out to you? I mean, what's necessary to get an
Yeah.
event?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just reach out on my email at collegeteamtennis@gmail.com. I've had some facilities reach out after seeing, and a lot of like a lot of the communication has been on the Instagram. A lot of academies have been reaching out there. So that's been great. That's been real easy. But yeah, if they want to reach out, just shoot me an email, and then we can jump on a phone call.
And I just put your email in the comments on the live
Awesome.
streams. So
Awesome.
yeah, if any
It's
of you
great.
guys are interested, click on that and get in touch with Ben. So, what is the future of this? I mean, is this something that you're looking at just continuing through the summer for a set number of weeks, and then once hopefully school is back
Hmm.
in session and everybody can
Yes.
get back on campus, you'll go on hiatus and then start it up again possibly next summer, or what are you
Hmm.
thinking?
Yeah, so that was the original plan. I just wanted to honestly, the original plan was to get my friends just playing tennis again, get them playing something that they enjoyed. But after these tournaments have had a lot of success, I've had college coaches contact me and say, we're very unsure what the fall season looks like. So we were wondering, could you set up some of these fall events and,
Oh,
intermix some of the teams instead of, having the dual match University of Georgia versus Georgia Tech, in the fall tournament. How about you intertwine them and have, players from both programs play in this event on different teams?
hmm.
So
And
that's
you could
something
even involve, it sounds like you could involve some of the club tennis
I
players
was
as
about.
well.
That's where I was going as well.
Oh,
And
well, great minds.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I actually, when I took a year off of playing college tennis, to kind of go into different ventures, I actually played club tennis for a semester, and I had an incredible experience doing that, and made a lot of good friends and connections around the country of different programs. So I've talked to them about it, and they're super interested as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of different directions it could go. I'm just trying to grow the sport, honestly.
Yeah. Well, aren't we all right now? I mean,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
frankly, tennis needs innovation, and this is a conversation that's been going on for years now.
Mhm.
And I mean, for better or worse, COVID-19 has really shined a light on all of the problems in our sport, not just at the college level, which, I recently wrote an article about what's going on, and I'm working on a follow-up piece to that right now.
Mhm.
And that's on parentingaces.com if anybody hasn't read it yet. But I mean, the universities are blaming COVID-19, but this
Mhm.
is not COVID-19's fault. This is a result of massive financial mismanagement on the parts of these higher learning institutions. And it's time that we get creative here. And I love seeing a young person who has played this sport for so long
Hmm.
kind of, take the reins and say, hey, what we're currently doing is not working. I've got a better idea. Not only do I have the idea, but I've got the, you know, I don't even know the right word, but the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess,
Hmm.
to put that into action and make something happen. So it's one thing to say, tennis is dying, tennis is having problems, we got to do something. A lot of people do that piece of it, but very few have gone that next step and actually put something into play that can make a real difference. And so I want to congratulate you for actually following through on your
Thank you.
idea and making it happen and creating these opportunities for college players and junior players to get together on a court, and continue playing. And sorry, my earpiece is I didn't bring all my equipment with me when I traveled here, so I'm kind of backpedaling a little technology wise, but anyway, I just think it's great that you're doing this. Tell us how we can find out when your events are, how people can sign up to play, what the cost is, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm. Yeah, so right now, mostly everything has been pumped out on Instagram, and the
Okay.
Instagram is at College Team Tennis. And then I'm getting all of my tournaments UTR or I've gotten them UTR verified in the last week. So I'm going to be posting those online as soon as we lock in dates. As you know, with COVID-19, it's tough to get the facilities
Yeah.
to say yes because everyone's got different policies, and I'm bringing in my own policies, and some of them aren't following those procedures.
Hmm.
So I have to go a different route with them.
Hmm.
So yeah, as soon as we get the facilities and the dates locked down, we post everything on UTR. And again, everything's on Instagram. That's been kind of the two platforms, are Instagram and
Okay.
UTR.
So are you a club now on UTR? Have you been
Yes,
designated a club?
I
Okay.
think that's what it's called. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
know
I
I
think, I
have
mean,
a.
that's how, before you
Uh-huh.
can schedule
Yes.
events, you have to be,
Hmm.
I went through this when I did my tournaments too.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, UTR makes it so simple, right? It's
They
very
do.
easy to
It's
register, it's
good.
very easy to report scores, to post draws, I mean, all that stuff. So yeah, good for you. And then what are you charging to play the tournaments?
Yes, so we are charging 55 right now.
Okay.
Just I'm trying to be a little bit less than most of the tournaments, are than that 65 to 80
Hmm.
range. So I'm trying to be on the a little bit cheaper side for the college players. We're going to test it, the $55 range, and then go from there.
Okay.
If it's too expensive, then we're going to bring it down. If it's, but if it's good, then I'm just going to keep it at that flat fee.
And what are your costs involved with running these events? I mean,
Hmm.
are you having to pay court fees, or obviously you're having to buy balls, or,
Hmm.
talk to us about that.
Yeah. So a lot of my costs, the balls are big. We did it with Diadem. We tried to get some good deals with them last time, and their balls were actually pretty good. I like them. Diadem? You heard
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're growing quick right now. So the balls is the biggest expense, and then we've been buying food for the players for both days to make sure
Oh, nice.
they're in between matches. But I think we're gonna go a different direction with that and just have everyone get like a 25 to 30% off at a restaurant
Mhm.
locally. Or cater it. We haven't really decided that yet because that's a big expense is the food.
Sure.
But we've been trying to get local businesses to sponsor it. Since with COVID-19 going on, a lot of those businesses have been declining a little bit. So any way we can push them and help them get business, and coexist. That's been the goal.
Cool. So, for any of the manufacturers out there that might be watching this, these guys need ball sponsors.
Mhm.
I would assume water and sports
Yeah.
drink
What
sponsors would be
exactly?
great.
Hmm.
Food sponsors, so maybe like a local sub shop, or
Hmm.
even I know Publix is really good about sponsoring nonprofit events, which you're not in that category.
Unfortunately,
But
yeah.
well, no, you're in business. That's good.
Sure.
Um, but if there are any local restaurants that are interested in sponsoring these events, please, I've put Ben's email address in the comments, so please email him, reach out to him. I know there are a lot of companies out there, Ben, that really take pride in their support of college tennis.
Mhm.
So, companies like Solinco, companies like Wilson. So maybe those are ones that you can reach
Yeah,
out to. And I'll tell
absolutely.
you also, Voss Water was also a really strong supporter of the events that I put on, which were fundraising events. So,
Right.
um, they may be somebody to reach out to as well. And you and I can chat offline. I can share some contacts
Absolutely.
with you. But, and I've got actually another sports drink company in mind that might be interested in being a sponsor as well, because they're really trying to break into the tennis
Mhm.
market. So
Well, that's
I'll
great.
share that with you offline
Yeah,
as
yeah, that's
well. But
exciting stuff.
um, I mean, we know from running events, there's a cost involved, And again, I asked you, but I didn't let you answer the question. Are you having to pay court fees to the facilities? Or are they letting you use the
Mhm.
courts?
Yeah, some of them, half of them we've had to pay for, and then the other half we didn't. You know, just because I have a good relationship with Ace Academy, Jeff Weaver, as I mentioned. So the court fees haven't been a big expense, which is great. But if we end up, because he only has 8 courts over there, and if we end up expanding and going to bigger sites, then, that expense is just always going to go up.
Yeah,
Um, so, and another thing that we've been doing, we've been having a stringer. So if any of the string companies out there are trying to push their new string, we're always welcoming samples and stuff like that. Because personally, I'm not set in stone on a string yet. Because there's so many companies out there now, and everybody's got a different product. So
sure. Yeah. And free string's always a good thing.
exactly, exactly,
And
exactly,
where better to test your new string than with a group of high-level junior and college players?
exactly.
So,
Yep,
yeah, y'all
exactly.
are a great group of guinea pigs out there for these companies.
Yep.
Um, so I'm trying to think what else I need to ask you about these events. So to register, the events will be on UTR, or
Yes.
check out your Instagram at
Hmm.
College Team Tennis. And again, I've put the
Yes.
link to that in the
Awesome.
comments. Um, and when is your next event?
So right now, like I said, we have nothing set in stone due to COVID-19 and making sure every box is checked before we move forward. But July 11th, that week, the weekend after 4th of July, is
Mhm.
our next scheduled tournament that we have. We haven't signed off on anything yet, but that's kind of the date we're looking at. And then we should have one every single weekend of July, and then the
Cool.
first 2 weekends in August. Yeah,
Okay. And where is that July 11th event?
that one's going to be in Atlanta.
Okay, awesome.
Hmm.
Scott Austin just commented that you might want to contact Mantis Sport to see if
Okay.
they would want to be a sponsor. Scott, if you're still on, if you have a contact person or an email or a phone number that Ben can use, if you would like to share that, that would be really helpful. So he's got
Thanks,
somebody to
Scott.
reach out to. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, and okay, I'm trying well, tell me what else is going on with you. I feel you're like this man now. Last time I saw you, you were a kid. Last time I
Yeah.
saw you was probably Morgan's last junior tournament, which was
Yeah.
Macon.
Yes.
Um, which
Interesting week.
interesting week. Yeah. Without going into detail, Ben ended up staying with us for a couple nights in Macon.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I haven't seen you since then.
Yes.
So what else is going on in your world? Share with us. How's
Yeah. So,
school? What are you majoring in?
mhm.
You have a
Yeah, school's,
girlfriend. Tell us
yeah.
everything. I'm
No,
just kidding.
no, I was about to say, I won't go into detail
No,
with
no,
my
no, no, no.
love life.
No.
But yeah, I'm down at Georgia College. I started at Northern Arizona University. Had to continue to have a reoccurring injury, so I came home to Georgia College to start rehab. Got healthy, started playing on the team. Really enjoying it, and then just kind of wanted to go a different direction with my college career. I felt like I missed out a little bit growing up, doing all the USTA junior tournaments, traveling, point chasing. So I did the social scene for a little while, joined a fraternity, did the club tennis, and then now I'm back on the team playing again. And I mean, I wouldn't do it any differently. It's been fantastic. I'm an economics major.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also the president of my fraternity. So doing a lot. But I like being busy, so that's always good.
And what are you going to be a senior this year
I'm going
or junior?
to no, I'm going to be going into my 5th year.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have 12 hours left, but
Oh,
when COVID-19 hit, I was like, that's just not the way I want to go out.
hmm.
So I'm going to take the full year, use my eligibility up, and then possibly pursue a master's program. I just haven't decided yet. I'd really like to do something with tennis.
Okay. Very
Hmm.
cool. Um, what else? What else you got to tell us?
I don't know. Oh, well, also to coincide with the college team tennis, I'm also a partner of a college tennis recruiting agency, which I'm a part of with Elijah Melendez, Taylor Foote, and Felipe Sarasage. They're all in the Atlanta area and
Yep.
super passionate, and both have kind of coincided with each other. Since we've had a lot of junior players that have been playing the events. So yeah, so that's another little side venture as well.
Well, it sounds like your entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well, developing
Yes.
very nicely. So,
Yes.
congratulations. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck with your ventures. And
Thank you.
I hope that you'll share, either join the Parenting Aces Facebook group so you can post your tournament links on that page, or email them to me and I can post them on the Facebook page itself, so that everybody's aware of when your events are and how to sign up
Okay.
and all that. So, yeah, just make sure we have the links. And because I think this is a fabulous idea. I mean, not only are you providing a competitive outlet for existing college players, but you're giving the juniors that want to play college tennis a taste of what it's going to look like, not
Exactly.
only what the level of competition may be, but also just that whole notion of being part of a team, playing for something bigger than yourself, using the D1 format, understanding what that looks like. And so, even if somebody's going to D2, D3, NAI, JUCO, it doesn't matter. The
Hmm.
level is comparable at all those divisions of college tennis. And
Hmm.
so this is just a great way for them to get their feet wet, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we actually had a top-ranked junior play one of my friends who plays college at Mount St. Mary's. Super experienced college player, was a captain on his team. He knew how to rile his guys up and get them excited. And the 16-year-old, who was probably a better player level wise, like on paper, was like really getting anxious and but putting him in that pressured situation, and it was a 10-point breaker to decide the match.
Oh,
I
wow.
knew I knew after that match he was like, I'm ready for it next time, because like when you're hearing guys screaming and shouting, let's go, when you're losing a point, it's tough to handle for the first time, but I know he's going to be fired up for the next one.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. So, what's your breakdown juniors to college players
Mhm.
so far? I mean, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so with our 40-player tournaments, we've been doing 32 college players and then the 8 juniors who come up through qualifying.
Okay.
And that's been a really good breakdown, I think. But I think I'm going to tilt it a little bit, have a little bit more juniors because there's so many good juniors in the area.
Yeah.
So, and then during the fall and the spring, probably flip it and do go more of a college showcase model.
Mm.
Have 90% juniors, 10% college players as kind of the mentors on that team. So that's something I'm looking at as well.
And so let me just throw out there, we are in a recruiting dead period now through
Hmm.
the end of August, according
Right.
to the NCAA. College coaches cannot be at tournaments recruiting junior players right now. But if a junior player is on a team with college players, those college players can go back to their coach and talk to him or her about this kid that they played with this
Yep.
weekend. So it's a great workaround for the
It
recruiting
is.
process. And
It is.
parents, I want you to hear me on this. This is a legal workaround. The coaches can't be there, but your junior player can play against these college players, and the college players can go back to their coaches and talk up your junior player. So, this is a phenomenal opportunity for those juniors who want to play college tennis and are just kind of, freaking out, honestly, if they're a rising junior or senior this year in high
Hmm.
school. this is a scary time for those kids.
It
And,
is.
they don't know what's on the horizon in terms of what college tennis opportunities are going to be there for them, which schools are even going to have teams anymore, if those teams are going to have scholarships available. There's just so much up in the air right now, even with hard court nationals now,
Yeah.
which are back on the schedule. No recruiting, no college coaches are allowed to be there.
Right.
So just saying, this is a great opportunity for those kids who want to play college tennis to get noticed by college tennis players who can then take those kids' names and experience and playing ability back to their coaches and put those kids on the coach's radar for whenever recruiting opens back up and
Yeah.
whatever that looks like in the future.
Exactly. And it has a lot more value than, a coach seeing your video or a
That's
coach
right.
seeing you play one single match or a practice. These guys saying I was in this, team environment, there's a lot of pressure on the line, and this kid did this, and this, and it was great, and I really want him to be a part of our program. I mean, the coach can't hear anything more. I mean, he's
Right.
like, okay, what's his phone number?
It carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, what's the process going to look like from here? Because, I mean, that gets them excited. So.
Right. And I want to say, so again, we're in a recruiting dead period, but that doesn't mean the junior players shouldn't be reaching out to the coaches. They
Right.
should. And
100%.
to be able to reach out to a coach and say, I played this event with these players from your team. I was part of a team that either, with them or competed against them, and, really liked what I saw and would love to be part of your program. A coach can't help but be impressed by that and be intrigued by that. And again, when they're allowed to follow up with that player and hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
start the conversation. So this is a really, really great opportunity for junior players to beef up their resume,
Mm-hmm.
to beef up their profile, whether they're using tennisrecruiting.net or some other profiling service,
Mm-hmm.
which I encourage everybody to tune into the Parenting Aces podcast this week. Our new episode going up tomorrow is about another app that can be used to help organize the recruiting process.
Oh,
So
okay.
I hope you guys will tune in. You too, Ben.
Yes, I
This may
will.
be a potential partner for you.
Mm-hmm.
But getting that profile looking good, and we've talked a lot about what kids are doing, while tournaments weren't happening at all,
Right.
and videotaping themselves, training at home, showing the books they're reading to beef up their mental side of their game, showing any other activities that they're doing to get themselves ready to compete. These are
Mm-hmm.
all things that college coaches want to see. And these
100%.
are all things that need to be part of the player's profile as they're entering the recruiting process. So college team tennis tournaments are one more piece of that. And, beyond just showing a coach what you're doing, again, you have that opportunity to interact with existing players. And yeah, I think it's awesome. So all right, what else? I don't want to go offline without giving you an opportunity to share everything that you want to
No.
share.
No, it's everything's good. Everything's good here. Just excited to keep moving forward. And, like I said, the whole idea behind all of this is to grow the sport of tennis. As a high school tennis player, tennis does not get the same hype as the other sports. And, I hope by the time I'm 60, 70 years old that it is, another one of those top sports, especially growing up in Georgia, the football, the baseball, the basketball. I want to get tennis up there. So hopefully creating a new environment for tennis and a new atmosphere will do that. So.
Well, hopefully it won't take you your 60 or 70 because I'll likely be dead by then. I want to see it in my lifetime. So let's make it happen a little sooner than that. You're well
Okay.
on your way to making some positive changes, Ben Van Hout. I'm really proud
Thank
of
you.
you
Thank you.
and excited to see where all of this goes over the next few months.
Yeah.
Again, for those of you interested in the college team tennis tournaments, Ben's email is in the comments. His Instagram handle is in the comments. So make sure to get a hold of him. The tournaments will be listed on UTR hopefully in the next few days.
Yes, next few days. Yes,
So
as soon as we sign off on everything.
perfect. And so
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
where you can search for the tournaments on myutr.com. And then you'll be able to register for the events through myutr.com as well. And yeah, Ben, great to see you.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's awesome to see you too, virtually.
Yeah.
Hopefully when all this clears up, we can grab lunch.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having me as well. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for doing this with us. And to
Absolutely.
those of you watching, I hope you learned something today. I hope you'll check out Ben's new tournaments and get those kids back out playing, and let's all work together and save college tennis.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon, Ben.
Take care, Lisa. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.